In this 2x2 flip coin holder, I bought a little coin collection. It's all silver coins from nickels to mercury dimes to half dollars to even some Morgan dollars. Let's go ahead and go through this and see what we got. Hey everyone, it's RobFindsTreasure. Welcome back to the channel. In front of me, I've got a 2x2 flip coin holder here. Now it has 60 spots, and based on what we have in here, there's 57 different coins. Now I chose these coins from this collection because they all are silver, and I was trying to stock up on some nicer silver coins. So we've got a handful of BU looking silver war nickels, some silver mercury dimes, some that may have full split bands or full bands. We have some BU looking Benjis, some BU looking Walkers, and some nicer Morgan dollars. So quite a few coins to go through in here today. I kept them inside of this. I'm going to pull them all out. I'll start by pulling out all of the nickels first, lay them out up here. We'll take a look at what we got, and then we'll do some further inspections to see what kind of grades some of these coins will get. And I'm definitely going to have to do this off camera because it's hard to pull these out of here. They're in there pretty tight, but this is the kind that expands and opens up, so I'll be able to get them out. But either way, I took a quick peek before I decided on the price, and both the seller and I agreed on a price, so a fair deal for both of us. At least I hope so. I think I've rattled long enough. Let me get in here now, pull out all of the war nickels. I'll lay them out, and we'll take a look at them together. All right, we've got all the nickels out of the flip holder. There's a total of 19 nickels. Unfortunately, 16 of them are two different dates, but we have the 42 Ps. We have two of those, and I'll show them in a second. 43 S's, we have 8. We have 144D, and we have 845 S's. I'll give you a look at one of the 1942P. Now, it's type 2 because it's made out of silver. In 1942, they made both nickel nickels and 35% silver nickels. So this is the type 2 because it has the large mint mark on the back, and it is made out of 35% silver like we have listed on the mat. Definitely a beautiful example here. This is the nicer of the two that I already saw, and I don't have a graded one. Unfortunately, I don't know if this one is a grader either. It does have a ding, as you can see on the right side of the Monticello building right there. It's a pretty heavy gash, and it's not quite full steps. But I don't have a graded one, so it might be a candidate just to get one in my registry. I'm only missing a handful of nickels that need to be graded. A 42P type 2 like this, a 43D, and a 43S. So we definitely want to get a few of these graded, probably just to complete my nickel registry. But man, it's a shame it has that ding on the back. The other one actually doesn't have a ding on the back, but it's just not as nice. And you can see it's got some discoloration and a little weaker strike. So I think if I were to grade one, it would be this one. But man, it's hard to say for sure. We'll have to see. As far as the 43S's, I haven't inspected any for any full steps yet. I would imagine that some of them may have full steps. It's not a tough year to get full step strikes on them. But I will inspect all of the 43S's to see if we have, or at least to get the best one to submit for a grade, because I don't have a graded one of those. And then I already have an MS65 1944 Denver. And even though this one's nice, I don't think it would beat my MS65 out. Although it's got some pretty cool toning from being in whatever flip it was prior to this. But either way, that's a nice nickel. And then a whole bunch of 45 S's. And like I've already mentioned, I'll probably choose the nicest one if I can get one with full steps as well. We'll choose the nicest one for a submission. That is the war nickels. Let me run through them. I'll grab the nicest of at least these 3 years here, and I'll show you what they look like, and then move on to the mercury dimes next. And a lot of them say they're full split bands, but we'll have to make sure of that. So we finished going through the war nickels. These are the 3 best of the ones I need to have graded. This is the best 42P. Don't think it qualifies for full steps, but still a nice example. This is the best 1943S, and it's a close call on full steps as well, but I'm not going for that. I just need a graded one in Mint-State 63 or better, and I think that qualifies. And then this is the best 1945S, and I have a Mint-State 63 without full steps, and this looks like it's probably better than a 63, maybe a 64 or 65. And it's a close call on full steps as well, so I'm going to see if that upgrades. So of those, I'm going to go ahead and submit these 3 on my next PCGS submission. I'll only need a 43D left in good grade in order to have a complete war nickel set registered under PCGS slabs. All right, now that we've covered that, I'm going to put those to the side. We'll probably offer those up on a future auction. Time to get out the Mercury dimes next. See if we got any valuable ones. See if we have any better dates with full bands as well. Let me get those pulled out. I'll lay them out. I'll be back in just a second. All right, we've got all the Mercury dimes pulled out. There's a total of 15 Mercury dimes. Looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different dates as far as dates and mints. We have all the 45s, P, D, and S, and of course, none of these say full split bands or split bands on them. I would imagine that that's probably because they're the hardest years to even get full split bands. This one does say SB, so let's just take a quick peek and see what they say. Yeah, that's not going to be split bands. Full split bands is you have to have all the lines distinctive on all of the banding of the fascies on the back, and none of those are full. So I don't know what the SB is for, but this one does say full split bands, 1944 DBU. It is an absolute stunner. By the way, these are beautiful dimes. We'll give you a close look at them. Let's see if this one happens to be full split bands. So yeah, on the top one, definitely have all of the bands split. The toughest is always the middle one. And man, that is close. It probably would get it. I'll have to see the population report because that is fully split. It's a little soft in the middle. And then the bottom, that's definitely. So that's a close call. I'll have to see what the population report is on these. And if it's not too crazy, I might get it. But that's if I decide to submit. And then we have 38 S's. And let's just take a quick peek at one of the 38 S's. Man, these are nice dimes. And let's take a quick peek at that. Yep, full split there. That is a lot closer than the last one. I think that qualifies. And most dubitably on the bottom. And then finally, let's grab a 38 Denver as well. They say that this is full split bands. I'm just double checking for myself. I actually have a video on full split bands and full bell lines and full steps like on the nickels earlier. You guys can check out if you want. But yeah, that one looks good. I would imagine, if I recall, the 38D, 38S, 44Ds are pretty common in mid-state with full split bands. Like 63 to 65 is pretty common. It's getting higher grades than that where they start really becoming worth a lot more. And I'll take a look at these and see if these are graders, but they're definitely beauties. And they have an old price of $35, probably graded as MS65 full split bands whenever they put that price there. But these are the tough years. These are the ones that if I have any full bands on these, would be definitely worth quite a bit because 45 was notorious for terrible strikes that year. And yeah, look at, not even close in the middle. But the bottom and the top, not bad. It's always that middle one where the dies just didn't get great strikes, especially on the 45s. All right, let me go and run through these, see if we have any worth grading. For those that don't know, really you got to get MS64 or higher with full split bands to make it worthwhile to submit some of these years that I have here on the table. Of course, if we happen to have one that I think is an MS65 with full bands, could be a candidate that would probably put it north of $100 or more in value. But again, we've got to double check if any of these are worth submitting. And even if they are, will they upgrade my registry? And then deciding from there. I'll be back when I have the best examples up here in just a moment. We have finished combing through all the Mercury dimes, definitely full split bands, and I upgraded my album. These are the two I had in my album. They did not have full split bands. They are nice and toned, but I went ahead and upgraded two of the decent ones or the second or third best ones from up here to put in my album. These ones down here, I'm going to submit. Let's take a look at this 1938S. And other than a little ding on her neck, this coin is fantastic and definitely full split bands. So a 38S with full split bands, if I bring up the PCGS, this is just a PCGS price guide. It's not rocket science here. It's not retail sales on it. But 38S full bands, even at a mint state 65, is about a $180 coin. Obviously, they're selling for about $100 to $120, so a little less. But man, even if I got a 64 for $95 all the way up to a 66 or a 67, I'm willing to roll the dice. I don't think it gets higher than a 65 because it does have a little ding on the neck, but man, it's nice otherwise. So we'll submit that one. And then I have two Gemmy 1938 Denvers. They're actually in a fantastic shape as well. Both of them have full split bands. Both of these look like at least MS65, maybe a 66 or a 67 if we get lucky. And not as valuable as a 38S, but even on a 38D with full bands, I mean, if we can get as high as a 65 or a 66, it's worth the submission. And since I got a pretty good price on these, I figured I would submit these ones right here. So 3 candidates out of these for submission. We'll get these moved up and move on to the half dollars next. So here are all the half dollars. We got Walking Liberty half dollars on top, and we have some Ben Franklin half dollars on the bottom. I've already checked the reverse of all these Ben Franklins. The only coin that really has full bell lines is this 1956. And yeah, it's in pretty nice shape overall. Probably one that I wouldn't grade because even with full bell lines and a mint state 63, it's really only a $60, $70 coin. And by the time you pay for submission fees, I'll be break even on this coin. I already double checked as well. None of these are the Bugs Bunny varieties or have any of the Scarface on the 52 that I would be looking for. And none of these would upgrade any of my Ben Franklins in my BU collection that I have. Although there are some nicer coins here. The 1961, if it had full bell lines, would be a candidate because it's very rare with full bell lines, and this one does not have it. It's close, but as is typical near the bell knocker, it's a little weak there, so missing some of the bell lines. Either way, there's nice to see some nice Benjis. We'll be offering those up as well. And as far as the Walking Liberty half dollars, a lot of these say BU, but you know, when I really take a closer look at them, I don't think they're BU. I think they're definitely more of that high AU to a low mint state. This is probably the nicest 43. This is the nicest 44, which is the 44 Denver, close to BU. And the 1945 Denver is also close to BU. But again, I would say they're more in that AU 58 to MS 63 range at best for those three. And then these three have a little more circulation wear on them, just a little bit. They've been handled a little bit for sure. And I still think that they're nice coins, but not ones that I would grade. I took a quick peek at my Walking Liberty half dollar collection, and I think I have 1, 2, 3, 4 coins that I can upgrade for my personal set. But again, none of these are worth grading at this point. Either way, I got them at a good price. They're all really nice half dollars in a higher grade than you normally would see, especially when you're buying junk silver. So I'll take them. Let me get these sorted, get my album upgraded, and we'll lay out the Morgan dollars next. All right, we've got the final denomination, the Morgan silver dollars laid out here. There's only 7 of them, but some pretty cool looking coins and some decent dates. No extreme rarities here, but that's a pretty nice 1881 San Francisco. No VAMs on any of these. I already quickly double checked them for any VAMs or any varieties, but none of them had that. Either way, a nice 1881 San Francisco. Looks like it's probably in a uncirculated grade, maybe an MS 62 or 63. Cool toning, definitely a good looking coin. The second one is going to be an 1885 New Orleans. Again, looks maybe slightly handled or maybe slightly circulated. New Orleans is famous for having weak strikes on the back, but you can see some damage there. I don't think that's just bag marks. I think this coin was circulated a little bit, as is evidenced by the lack of luster. Probably an AU 55 type coin. Still a nice looking Morgan dollar overall. Third one looks like it's got some pretty heavy bag marks on it. 1890. Obviously, it was in another flip before, but it does look like it's probably uncirculated. 1890 Philadelphia, uncirculated, but bottom of the bag. A lot of bag marks, a lot of other coins tapped against this coin before it was put in someone's collection. Next up, we have an 1891S. This is a better date, but this coin is definitely been somewhat circulated. San Francisco strikes had really strong strikes and great mint luster. And you can see this coin was circulated a little bit. It's got a little bit of grime or discoloration or tarnish in the devices. Either way, it's still a nice coin, probably an AU 53 type grade. 1891 San Francisco. Nice toner here. A little bit of odd toning by the date, like it was clipped onto something, but a little nice toning on this one. 1896. Philadelphia is a common date, but in this rainbow toning and BU condition, I really like the way it looks. Probably a higher grade unless it was artificially toned. It's just that it has a weird spot there at the date. To any extent, beautiful looking coin. My two favorite Morgan dollars of the bunch are these. They were already in flips, and take a look at what they have written on them. Paid $2.75 in November of 1967, and it's on both. So these guys have probably been together since November of 1967. That's crazy to think. 56 years together, uncirculated, 1899O and 1900P. And, maybe they were uncirculated then. Maybe they're still uncirculated, but this O has a terrible strike, as is common for New Orleans. And the 1900, though, does look like it might have been circulated a little bit. Should be a better strike than that for a Philadelphia. But either way, I'm going to leave these in their flips because I do love the fact that the gentleman or woman who bought these in November of 1967 put what they paid, dollar and uncirculated, and they've been together probably ever since. Very cool. Nothing extremely valuable in the Morgan dollars, but a nice little bunch of Morgan dollars, all in that AU or better condition, but some look pretty well uncirculated as well. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up for this collection and purchase and hunt, you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed going through these with me. I always enjoy going through coins that have been in flips or in containers like this that have been flipped up for who knows how long and just sitting and maybe forgotten about. But more importantly, it's just fun going through them to see if we have any better dates, any coins that have a higher grade, any upgrades for my collection, or just taking a look at some coins that had some historical writings on them like this. And when I say historical, that's what I mean. I just think it's really cool seeing that this is a little time capsule of someone who wrote and was probably excited to pick these Morgan dollars up in November of 1967. And here we are 56 years later taking a look at some of these coins from this collection. If you did, I certainly would appreciate that thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting, happy collecting, and thanks for watching.